Welcome to Lulz. My name is Peter Overzet. I'm here with Brian Hooper. I never do proper introductions for this show, Brian. I've gotten sloppy as a host.
I don't think we need them, do we?
No, I think at this point, people know what they're getting. We don't even have people asking us for PGA plays in the chat anymore. They know the deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're going to be disappointed one way or another. So
yeah, I see you are back in the Chicago burbs, away from the lake house.
Chicago City. Yes.
I mean, the only signifier I have is beware poker players and loose women. That's how I know.
Right. Yeah. Away from the burbs, back in the city.
That's unless maybe that's something you should bring that sign with you. Basically, wherever you go, like if you were traveling and you're in a hotel room and you set up to do a show and you just prop it up like on the bed behind you.
It might be worth it for the bet.
It might be. What? So how long were you living out at the lake house? Is it going to be like a seasonal thing and now you're back in the city?
Nah, just driving back and forth whenever I feel like it.
Yeah. Nice. How was your week in DFS?
No, not good.
Not good.
Yeah, I haven't had really good since week 1 NFL, where nothing's really going for me.
Yeah. I bricked last week hard. I felt last week was a weird slate for GPP bros. It was just so spread out. There were no main leverage points.
Every time I lose, I feel that way. Yeah. Every time I lose, I'm like, that was a weird one. Something was wrong. It wasn't me.
Yeah. This one just it felt different, you know? The world conspiring against us in our Skolansky bucks that we keep racking up.
Yeah. Theoretical. Yeah, like you think you're earning Skolansky bucks, you might be just shoving money down the drain.
That's right. I know. I think I saw even more so than usual too. I don't know if it was specific to this week or if it's just like at that point in the season where we now are 4 weeks in and everyone who hasn't had a hit yet in GPP starts to like question everything. You know, I saw like way more tilting this week than I think. Like, I think I'm a good player. I haven't won 4 weeks in a row. And it's easy for me to say because I did have one good week, but it's like it's 4 fucking weeks and we're playing tournaments where all the money goes to the top 3 places.
Yeah, it does feel like that though, kind of. The because it's usually like 4 times as many players as you're used to, or whatever, more than that even. Who knows?
Yeah.
And so it's a lot harder to win just based on the amount of opponents you're playing against. So yeah, football's a bitch. I needed to bink that tournament that first week and didn't get lucky. So
it happens. Yeah, I was showing on my Bankroll Challenge show on Monday, like I had one lineup that min cashed in the baby spy with like 700 people in it or whatever. And it wouldn't have cashed in any of the other spies because they were all bigger than 1,000 entries. And again, it's like, it's so tempting to search by top prize pools as opposed to how many entries are in it. But if you are looking for the dopamine rush of actually getting some cashes, just keep going smaller and smaller down in field size.
Yeah, it's easier because you have less opponents. And you can go up in money, and that'll be less, generally speaking. But then you're playing against tougher competition.
Are you playing any nosebleeds or mainly just like MME large field stuff?
No, I was doing I'm doing the Wildcat every week. And then it depends on how they structure it. So last week they had the 4,444 for the high stake milli winner.
Yeah.
And so I did 3 into that. Probably could do a few more. But I don't know. I did 3 into that one and Brick City.
Yeah. That's where you get your name, right?
Yeah, just losing all the
time. Did I tell you, because you've talked about this before too, about where's the threshold for some of these higher buy-in, top heavy contests where it just doesn't make sense to put, to max them out. Did I tell you that that Cool Cat NFT contest that one of the Chipotle bros won it and he maxed it out? I think it was like 29 entries or something absurd into that contest where it was all to first place.
Really, they did, huh?
Yeah.
For a Cool Cat?
Yeah, the Cool Cat NFT, the not the Top Shot one, but the
Oh,
like actual little cute cat things.
well, how much were they? How much are they going for?
So they have like a 15 ETH floor right now, I think, but the one that Matt Kalish bought for that contest was more of a rare one. And there's been some insane. I think it was valued at about $80,000 to $85,000 at the time of the contest.
Okay.
So, but I was just surprised to see Chipotle. Like, I guess he doesn't have a Twitter presence, so I don't know if he's like in the NFT street or if he just thought like, hey, I'm good at DFS. This might be my way to get exposure to one of these.
Everyone in the game who's been like a prominent gambler since 2002 is into NFTs and crypto. Yeah. I just saw today Cole South. I don't know if the people remember, he used to be like an online poker player, pretty popular, wrote a book and everything, and he's doing a like free crypto 101 course or something. I just saw on Twitter. I'm like, really? Cole South. Wow, that's a blast from the past. He was on Card Runners too. He did some videos there, and
it is. What do you think that? I mean, I guess I'm trying to think. It makes sense to me that a ton of poker and DFS people would be gravitating to this. But do you have any other insights on what it is about these type of people and why they gravitate to it?
Well, poker and sports betting makes sense because the Bitcoin was the workaround. Remember, and then there was Mike on Seals with Clubs, and he was preaching it, and
that's how I got into Bitcoin, was because of trying to get money on an illegal offshore sports book, and that was the quickest way.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. They had a whole bunch, and then those Bitcoin sports books and stuff, and I think it was all just to try to get around the legislation and gamble, and like, after your, like, if it was a sports bettor, like 2006 was your Black Friday, and then poker was 2011, and so like at both of those points, then Bitcoin comes around, and you're like, man, this is a pretty sweet solution to the thing that just ruined our careers, So like, even if you're not crazy Liberty bro, you're still like, this could be worth some money.
Yeah. And I think it's just that general thing of poker players, DFS, they're looking for edges, and the edges get dried up pretty quickly, in those efficient markets. Poker obviously has gotten very sharp, DFS has, so it's like, wow, you don't have to be, the edges are even bigger, and the gap hasn't quite narrowed yet in the NFT space with some of these opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. And who knows, your mind can go crazy. Like did anyone see the NFT boom coming? Like, I mean, sure, some people did, but like, you just knew something cool could happen with crypto. You just, besides gambling, and here's one thing, and the DeFi stuff, right? Obviously, is another thing that's pretty fucking huge.
I mean, it is like, did you get into any of the like shitcoin stuff, or were you always like eyes on the prize, Bitcoin maxi?
No, Ether, Bitcoin. I like both of those.
But you weren't buying like fucking random ass shit.
I mean, not tons of. I mean, I bought a lot of Ripple, and I bought some stuff, but only on Coinbase, or I never would go into the weeds and like find out the cheapest, newest thing and gamble on Dragon Coin or some shit.
You ever get into the privacy coin stuff, the Monero?
No, I mean, I've probably owned some Monero and sold it over the years.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm familiar with it, but it wasn't like this is the future or something like that. I got Dash too. I think Dash is kind of along those lines, isn't it? Dash has something.
I remember that one. Well, I was just thinking too about why like NFTs are like the shit coins, but like completely supercharged, because with the shit coins, it was like you'd read these white papers, maybe there'd be some memes on Twitter, this was even like pre-Discord being like this massive community builder around these things. And so it like took a lot for one of these shit coins to really blow up, where it's like now it's like NFT projects are like shit coins, but you're like putting all this beautiful makeup on them. You know, it's like, oh, it's so easy to whip up a community. It's so easy to like make them look cool and fun. Like, it's like they are shit coins, but they're such easier sells and so much easier to market than just pure shit coins are.
I see the parallels. I could see the parallels. Like some more like actual usable things to it. Like it actually, you can see it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Where a shit coin, there's just like no utility to some of them, and a lot of them are just gone now. But like, yeah, I mean, like the idea of the altcoins, I never thought, or the shit coins, was like pure gamble to me. It's like, this is going to take over Bitcoin. Okay, we'll see. I don't know about that one.
Yeah,
But
and
like
it's
NFTs is something different. I don't know.
and I think that concept of say a shitcoin comes out with a fixed supply. Let's say it's 10,000, just like some of these NFT or a lot of these NFT drops 10,000. But the unique and the rarity game of it is like just so fun for people. And this is a huge thing now that I've kind of dove into doing some of the minting and flipping with the NFTs. Is like there's this temptation of the EV move is always to sell before reveal, because that's when all of the hype and the FOMO builds up. But then there are people who want to play the rarity game of like, what if? What if I get the one of one? What if I get the one with a top 1% rarity and that's worth 100x instead of flipping preview reveal for a 2x or whatever? So there's this whole extra layer of like uniqueness and gambling that like doesn't exist in shitcoins.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's got that Top Shot, like the things that was cool about Top Shot with it too. Yeah, and people offering different prices on your coin. Wouldn't that be cool? Like I have a Bitcoin, but someone's offering me more than, okay, like here, like an auction style on the coins. Like there's so much more to it.
Yeah, and that actually is very helpful too when you're, so I'm not an NFT whale, so I'm generally buying like somewhere from 3 to 5 of a project. And yeah, there are rarity tools and stuff, but you can use the offers as kind of an indication for what's valuable. Like the market helps decide like, oh, this is getting lots of offers. I know that this is my best one or whatever is interesting. And you see too with like Top Shot why that needs to be something that they have where you can send offers, because I feel like that's just so important for like a healthy, vibrant marketplace to have, bids, offers, posts, like be able to interact with an asset in all those different ways.
I thought it was pretty amazing that no matter if the crypto market overall, the coins part, was up or down, like it was, NFTs were still selling and super active,
Yeah.
Like Bitcoin has always had this hodl thing where 85% to whatever percent just never sell.
Yeah.
And like that, and I kind of feel it too. I don't know about you. Do you feel this too? Like I'd much rather ship 5 ETH than 1 Bitcoin or whatever, the equivalent Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't want to give my Bitcoin away, but like ETH is kind of just like casino chips or something.
Yeah. Well, and I think our brains probably get rewired to associate those currencies as different things. Like we've been told over and over, Bitcoin is the store of value, it's the digital gold. And so I think we naturally want to hodl it. All these stores, whenever they're like, oh, you should accept crypto, you should do this. Like even in my Discord, I accepted crypto now. You can pay for a Club NGMI hoodie. You can pay for a Lulz hoodie with crypto through my Shopify account. Not one single person does it. Like everyone thinks it sounds cool to like be able to buy everything, but especially with Bitcoin, people don't want to give it up. They want to use it either to store it or transact in other ways.
Except for NFTs.
Except NFTs.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, speaking of minting, did you mint yourself a Ranger?
No, I did. But did you see that email that he had to send out to everybody?
No,
I posted it in the Discord.
Oh, I must have missed it.
Okay, so I'm trying to see if I can.
I was gonna mint one, but I gotta hook up my my MetaMask.
I just have to pull this up.
If there's any left, are there any even left?
I have no idea. But I'm gonna share this because this is one of the funniest emails I've ever seen. Happy Sunday, Crypto Ranger family. First off, if you're receiving this email, it's because you're one of the original whitelisters. I wanted to first start off by saying sorry yet again. Just what an incredible way to start an email to your whitelisters, having to say sorry yet again. That just absolutely killed me. But yeah, you should definitely get one of your Crypto Rangers.
I'm gonna get one. Why do you put his name on there? Like, wouldn't it? Why wouldn't you just have like the company or whoever?
I mean, do we really have to ask these questions,
Yeah.
Brian?
So I was looking at your avatar on Discord, or I don't know if you changed it to on Twitter too. Is that? And I'm trying to guess. I'm looking at OpenSea. Is that a gorilla nemesis?
So it is a gorilla, but that's not the that's not the project. It's a galactic ape.
A galactic ape.
Yes.
And are these? Is that on rarity or anything yet? Oh yeah, it is. It is. It is.
Yeah. So this was it was not, it was like 10 days ago, last Saturday. This was a drop that the Club MGMI channel and the Deposit Kingdom Discord was getting very hype about. And I'm still very ignorant with a lot of this stuff. I'm learning, but I could just tell from the sentiment that this was going to be a very popular drop. And so I ended up going after it. And the project has just done really, really well. It kind of just triangulates everything that's hot right now, the 8-bit pixel art, the monkeys, and everybody seems to love them. So yes, I have a few apes, and I made in my Discord profile here. I'll show you my galactic ape right here. And yeah, this one, I believe what did I do? So this one, I had gotten a rare one in the drop and I sold it for like 1.7 ETH. And so I didn't want to, lose an ape. So I just immediately bought a floor one at 0.78, which is this guy. And the floor is doing well on the apes. It's about 2 ETH right now. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You know what would be cool is, have you ever seen these Wall Street Bets websites that track sentiment in Wall Street Bets?
Oh, so, no.
Yeah, like, well, I don't know how they do it, but I'm assuming they like just get keywords for different stocks and then graph it out, like how many times it's been a negative or positive post in Wall Street Bets. Like, this is what they're talking about. That'd be awesome for NFTs. Do it with the Deposit Kingdom.
Well, it's crazy because there's multiple whales in our Discord, that there's this thing called Nansen alerts that I don't fully understand, but they're things that people tail for like whale movement in the NFT space. And like our Discord channel can legit set those off at this point. Like if a bunch of people are like, hey, we're going after this, people get the alerts. And so like, it's gotten to the point where everyone could collectively decide to go after a stupid project, which has happened. And it's not even pumping and dumping. It's just like, literally, we're just buying these, but because the alerts pick it up, everyone is like, oh, this big account bought this. I want to tail it and just see if I can swing trade the price movement. So that I think the data is so good for all of this stuff on the blockchain that just more and more of these tools are popping up that allow people to kind of track that stuff.
Well, it'd be tough to track your personal Discord without actually getting in there, I'm assuming.
Right, but it just like if you knew a couple of the addresses of the bigger whales.
Well, I guess that's true.
And that's what people, like some of the big NFT influencers, so the Beanie, the Pranksies, people just kind of know what their wallet addresses are, and then they just see what they're doing.
I still think, not that we're going to do this, but if we did, it would still have to be in the Discord, I think, because we want to see the build up before people buy it.
Yeah.
So we want to see, this name, they haven't bought it yet. Hasn't dropped, hasn't even minted. They're talking about these gorillas. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You almost need I always forget the name of the site that does the ownership projections based on sentiment, like podcast mentions, Twitter mentions.
What is that called? I know what you're talking about.
Fanshare, I think.
Fanshare, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You need something like that to kind of gauge. And people do that a little bit, just looking at like what's trending on the OpenSea market page, homepage and stuff like that. So it's wild.
Yeah. We need a fan share for the Deposit Kingdom.
That's right. David Kitchen, we are rent chasing here. I thought you're on vacation. David Kitchen wasn't even at the Swolecast today, but you're here. My guess is you're taking like a bath right now on vacation. What were you going to say?
Just, I don't even remember. It's irrelevant. I'm just thinking about getting myself a gorilla.
I would love for you to get a gorilla. It's Mookie says only NFTs I own are shitty ones that I come across scrolling Twitter at 2 a.m. And instantly regret minting the next morning. So I've been keeping a spreadsheet of my buys and my sells, and I noticed an immediate pattern. And anytime I was not, minting them myself, and I was just second guying them off of the marketplace, were almost all of my fails. Like 90% of my losses were just buying something that I didn't get in on the ground floor on. Um, I realize I'm not doing a good job on selling you on buying an ape on the secondary marketplace, but it is a word of caution there that you're generally, because people mint these in high volume, so then they have their cost basis, and then they're trying to flip just to eke out small profits across, say, 10, 20, a large volume of these. And so then you're buying like the top of their profits, and then there's generally not a third guy wave that's going to come in behind you.
Is that getting automated yet? You guys seen that?
Yeah, there's all
Yeah.
kinds of bot activity now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that's what I see with my the open sea bids I get in my email box. Like, you have a bid on.
Hang on, what are you getting bids on in your OpenSea?
My purs and my.
Oh,
I don't
how
even know
many?
what I have.
Wait, how many purs do you
No,
have?
I think I only have one.
Okay.
I have a goon.
Oh God, dude, the goons, man. I did just get breaking news. I am in a goon Telegram chat. You can now, this is coming from Cal Spears, which is a trusted source. He says you can now rename them. You connect MetaMask, you go to the name, and you can refresh the data on OpenSea. So, weekend project, Brian. Time to rename our goons.
Wow, that was what I was waiting for.
Do you
That
know
was
what? Okay, how about this? Someone called me Big Meat Pete the other day. You're
Nice.
Big Dick Brick. I think we name our goons Big Meat Pete and Big Dick Brick.
Okay, I could do that. the gorilla. Matic called me a coward on Twitter. I don't know if you saw this.
Good.
Because I wouldn't put my purr as my avatar.
Yeah, I honestly, I love the purrs. I want to evangelize the purrs. I literally can't picture you with a purr avatar.
I'm like, he calls me a coward. Maybe I could do a gorilla. That's a little higher T.
It is much higher T. I just imagining you. Well, it was like when Leone changed his profile picture to the goon. It was just like he got so much shit that he was just bullied to changing it back.
Matic had a goon for a while. I remember.
Yeah. Davis has gone through a few different projects that he's attempted to pump and then got scared and aborted on.
The tout pumping is I love it. I love every bit of it. I want to follow more people just to watch what they're pumping.
I mean, I could give you some accounts to follow. I legitimately don't even follow a bunch of them on Twitter because it's so incessant. But yeah, I mean, they do legitimately move things very quickly, especially with all the kind of limited supply stuff. Like, it doesn't take that many people or that many whales to quickly change the price action.
Yeah, definitely. So you're seeing no top in sight.
No, every day I feel like there's a top in sight. I mean, I'll tell you how distorted my brain is with this stuff. So there's these toads, and you stack the toads, and you earn basically interest on them in the form of these stacked tokens. And I had literally minted these for like 0.2 ETH. And it had gone all the way up, one of these stacked toads, to 2.5 ETH today. And my brain was like, oh, this is going to 100 ETH. I can't sell. But I forced myself to sell. I like literally for a lot of money. And yet my brain got so warped and so caught in the euphoria that you feel like you're going to regret it. And it's like, what is wrong with you? Like, how do you not detach from that? I mean, the euphoria thing is very difficult to pull away from right now.
How do you feel? How does the price fluctuation factor into your NFT game? You know, because it's like, okay, whatever, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, it was like under $3,000 for one ETH
for Ethereum. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of wild, just being in, multiple chats and discords and channels. there's some mention of the price of Ethereum, like, oh, it crossed 3,500. But in general, it's not even part of the conversation. It's
It's
like the whole one ETH equals one ETH thing is basically how
yeah,
NFT people approach it.
it that's a little strange to me. I mean, I get it. But I don't know. They're not even maxis, a lot of them. You know what I mean? It's like you'd have to be a maxi, like it doesn't matter because eventually it's going to be the world's reserve currency. So I don't care, you know?
Yeah. But there's like, it is, I mean, we've talked about it before, how different it is in your head. Like, even just doing any transaction, like there was a free NFT mint yesterday, but ended up costing like 0.05 in gas, which I think was like a couple $100s. And if you told me, like, you just walked up to me on the street and they're like, all right, I'm going to give you this digital collectible for free, but you got to give me $200 for it. I would laugh and I would walk away. But yesterday, Brian, I hit that button so fucking fast to get my free NFT that was 0.05 of gas. Like, my brain is broken from this.
No, yeah. If someone said that to you in the streets, you'd be like, please get the fuck out of here. Like if somebody was like, you know, just a normal person, like, you know, can I borrow? Yeah, can I just have, I don't know, $26? You'd be like, no, I'm not giving you $26, you psychopath.
Yeah.
Get away from me. But like $26 of ETH is just like, whatever, take it.
Dude, you'll love this. So that free mint I'm talking about, it was this guy and the project was called Messages. And I'm going to butcher how to explain it, but part of the NFT was you could actually go in and alter the metadata. So the message, how it displayed could be changed. So it's kind of like this cool concept. And he did a limited drop. There was only 500 of them, but he messed up the contract, Brian, to where they couldn't be sold. So basically everyone redeemed these free NFTs and then you couldn't do anything with them.
Lifetime.
So I had a fun time. I changed mine, Brian, to the text that says, you can't sell these. And I paid like $75 to process a transaction to be able to change that text.
That's the biggest waste of money of your life right there.
And yet I didn't even think twice. I've spent more on a bit than $75.
Well, you turned this into a bit, so maybe you redeemed a couple dollars.
Yeah. So as you can tell, Brian, I'm pretty far gone down the NFT rabbit hole these days. And yeah.
One I still can't believe the whole market hasn't collapsed. Like 2 years ago when we first started this show, I think that was would have been a prediction if we had one. But I keep seeing like, I don't know, was it Toads now? Like a new $1 million NFT product. Wow, once a month or something. It's like another one. Wow, no wonder everyone's going for it.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, because first it was okay. There's CryptoPunks, and then it was like these Bored Apes came along and
the Fidenza or whatever art. And
that's even, I think, a little different from the like bigger profile picture projects, just because it's more limited supply artwork and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then you had the Cool Cats come along and they've soared up, and then like those
Rocks.
Toads, the Rocks.
Yeah, the Rocks were over 1 million.
Yeah. And I think, again, the Rocks are viewed more in the kind of meme kind of art type space versus the Toads and the
some of those rare Pepes. Some of those rare Pepes might be worth 1 million.
Oh yeah, I bet
the Homer's probably worth 1 million.
There's all kinds of those. What's the other one? Pegs.
There were those. I haven't heard that one, but it wouldn't surprise me. That's what I'm saying. Like, just
look at this. This is a collection right here. Only 103 items. The floor price for one of these, Brian, is 111 Ethereum. I mean, it's absolutely insane right now.
Wow.
There are people right now who would rather have one of these than, let me do some quick math, than $388,000.
So highlight PayPal my money's tweet there. Yeah. So like there's not enough hedge fund kids. I seriously think that it's driven by a big part of it. Like we've said before is by the gamblers.
Yeah.
Is by the poker bros, the DFS guys who got into crypto early because they had to, the sports bettors. So they just naturally have a bunch of ETH. They like to gamble. They got into this space, and it's just a big part of blasting up the market. Like when we had Ricky Dion, we talked about this, and I think he said, I said like 80% of the market is us, and he's like, that's too high. But I think he agreed like 50 or 60%. It wouldn't surprise me if it was 50 or 60%. And then you also just have the old school crypto investors. Like if these guys invested in 2008, 9, 10, you didn't even have to invest then. You would just run a node or whatever. They have 10,000 ETH. They're just fucking loaded, you know?
Well, that's true to both like the crypto and the NFT space of just a lot of these OG crypto people just have more money than they know what to do with, and they think fully in denomination of ETH or Bitcoin or whatever. Like they don't even comprehend what US dollars are. They just have so much of this cryptocurrency that it is like casino fun money to them.
That was the like the conspiracy theory when we first started doing our Top Shot episodes.
Yeah.
If you remember, was, and I'm sure you do, what was it? It was like just rich or just, original ETH bros buying up their buddies NFT. So like, hey, we just bought these. All right, buy it for 100 ETH. Right. And they just ship each other the money back. Right. That was the conspiracy theory. So it looks like, oh my God, these are going for 100 when really these guys are just passing around the same 100 back and forth to each other because they have it to build up the price. Do you remember this? This is like when CryptoPunks were going for whatever, 20 grand or something.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and that action now happens a little bit on OpenSea with the bid thing, where you can do the like shadow bids, right? Where people, I just mentioned how that can sometimes be a good indicator of the bot offers coming in, like how valuable is your NFT? What if you have a collection of people that are sending bot offers that make the optics of the NFT look more valuable than it actually is?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but like you could do both. Who knows? But with the guys who have 100 ETH to pass around, you can shoot something up damn quick if you guys just don't sell and then start buying something that was 2 ETH, buy it for 50, and then the next day buy it for 75, the next day buy it for 100, and everyone's like, this is going crazy. I gotta get in on this. It's the same two guys.
And the funny thing is these are the legitimate arguments against a lot of the stuff that's going on, and yet people still want to do like, this is money laundering. It's like you're not money laundering through this. Like, but it's like there are legitimate things to poke holes at, but the mainstream talking, they're like, oh, you're killing the environment and you're money laundering. Like those are the two go-to argument. It's like, come on, there's some actual stuff you could use here, but that's not it, Chief.
Right. And also it's it hurts the poor and homeless. I had a tweet I did of an article about that. And what's the other one? It's sexist because women are disproportionately not as into crypto. Yeah, they'll have some article about all this stuff for like money laundering. Like you want the cash. Why would you want an NFT? Like you'd get it in crypto and then convert it to cash somehow. So like you'd use the crypto for the money laundering. If that's what they're doing, they wouldn't go buy $1 million punk. Like what's the fucking point of that?
I mean, and Jeremy is here to get us back on track to the issue at hand, and a far greater issue than anything going on in the NFT world, anything in the crypto scam world. It is, of course, cash game collusion. It is a cabal of high stakes DFS cash game players that all share the same lineups and conspire to beat anyone who would dare challenge them in a head-to-head, Brian.
That's right. It's ruining the game. It's very similar to the NFT collusion that we just mentioned. Very similar.
It's all these pump and dump cash game lineups. They pump up the bad plays and then they dump them on the peasants while they play the good plays.
It's funny that Ben the Better is what we're talking about here. Basically, he started this tweet storm. He spanned the whole DFS conspiracy now. So the whole gambit was because first, remember, the whole interaction, we all started interacting with him was because the 150.
Yeah, that's how it all started. Yeah.
The 150 myth. Oh, you know what? He hasn't got into. Should be the next one. If Ben, if you're watching this, you can just tweet this out tonight. Is the cabal of 150 users, right? They're all working together, and then they just get all the combos. And how can you win?
All the combos.
Yeah.
It is great. I mean, I will say it doesn't help when like Davis references the secret chat on Swolecast, because then you have people who can't put two and two together that yes, there's like a group of successful players that like talk about things and separate it from the fact that like Optimal spit out the exact same optimal cash game lineups across 18 different projection systems. They don't understand the nuanced differences between those two things. And they're like, shadowy cabal in a secret chat, same lineup put out by optimizers. Clearly has to be collusion.
Yeah, right. Because he doesn't have 8 subscriptions like all of us DFS degens, so we know the optimals and all the different projections providers. So he's there just grinding himself, like looking at DraftKings quarterback. All right, Kirk Cousins underrated.
You're talking about the age-old thing of we try to juggle all of these variables in our head ourselves.
Right.
And it's so funny you say that, because I've been doing for Pat Mayo's channel on Mondays, I've been doing a first look at salaries. And there's basically no projections out when I do these, because the whole point is like a first look, like it's supposed to get out right away. And it is like one of the hardest pieces of content I do, because like even today when I do the Swolecast, I have my spreadsheet up and I'm able to quickly scan for value, for ceiling, and ownership. And it gives me a talking point on every single player, like those 3 things: points per dollar, ceiling, and ownership. Like I can have a conversation about basically every player. When I'm doing this first look video and I'm literally just scrolling through salaries like Ben the Better, picking his cash game lineup, like I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like I don't. And I follow football closely. I talk about it and write about it all day.
Right.
And I'm scrolling through these things and I'm like, fuck if I know. Like,
wow.
I don't.
Wow, you just got to turn in your hand build bro card, buddy.
Dude, I mean, if I didn't have the crutch of my numbers, if I'm just trying to create lineups off the top of my head, my God.
Like
I even do it at night, like I'll before bed, I smoke a little to calm down, and I might pull up DraftKings to like fiddle with a build, and like I'll hit a wall like after one stack. I'm like, I don't know what to fucking do now. I don't got my numbers. I don't got my ownership projections. I can't do this.
Wow. It's hard for me because I could care less. I'm like, what? I don't care. This guy. Fine. This guy. Like if I'm just gonna do one in the beginning of the week, like for a dummy or just to look at him. I think if he would listen, it's like you just said, you did a show, Blender does a show, right? Like, cause he was Adam does a show, like all the guys he's talking about who are colluding. I think we've explained what's going on here enough, right? So there was a tweet by Ben Better saying that Adam shit my money, and Jordan Cooper, Blender, he played them head to head. They had the same lineup, sans one guy, and said they were colluding. If you listen to their shows, your show, whatever, even Swolecast builds a lineup, he would get 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 probably by the end of the week, right? And this is even without projection sources. He could probably, if you listen to enough content, but you add in some projection sources, and he should be 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, maybe 10 out of 10. And that's the only thing these guys are doing anyways. They're 1v1s, 2v2s.
Yep.
They're just, I don't know, this one or this one for the most part. For a cash game, that's all. I mean, that's why the cash games are so hard to beat now. Yeah. They're all, because like everyone's got the nuts.
Not everyone.
But the point being, though, the information is out there. Yeah, not everyone. The information is out there, and it's gonna look like I don't know how many years that this conversation's been had, but Ben, it needs to be a meme. Someone needs to meme that like.
I know. I need to
cash
come
game
up.
Collusion.
Maybe I should do a sequel to the 150 lineups guy jumping out of the trash can, and it was like, if I was in the secret chat, I'd win cash games too.
Yeah, right.
I don't think I could just
because it died out because cash game Collusion was the first one.
Yeah.
So here, well, here's some real collusion things. I don't. I mean, that I'm not sure, but like, I don't play 3-mans. I
Yeah.
used to play 3-mans. I guess I play 3-mans on the smaller sites, but I just don't care about those sites really. But like, I don't have as much money going on those. But like 3-mans, you can obviously, you might like put yourself in a position where you could get, scalped or whatever you want to call it. So he wouldn't because his lineup would be so different than theirs that they couldn't kind of pin him in, box him in or whatever. But like, so like, just why do it? Just don't even bother. Like I said, that's why they should switch to like a poker style. I can't remember what it was called on Full Tilt Poker Stars. What was that? Where you join the queue and you just go to seat, and every time you fold fast. What was it called? Like fast fold poker? God damn, I can't remember. Someone in chat remind me.
Yeah,
it's been a while. But yeah, they should switch to that model where we all enter a queue and then these randomly get assigned to a 5, whatever, a 3-man, whatever you want, whatever you signed up for. That I would probably stay away from.
Zoom poker says the chat.
Zoom poker. There you go. Thanks, Dave. I mean, like I said, my advice on cash games for week 1, whatever we did, like our first NFL show, was play with like at least 50 or more opponents, probably 100 or more, and be careful about the 150s. Like that might be made up of a ton of good lineups from people putting in 150s, and play the first 7-8 weeks of the season and see how you're doing.
I'd also say if you're just starting out, and I say this as someone who famously plays 1 week of cash games a year, but like start small to where you can individually go through your head-to-head. So maybe you say you get 10 head-to-heads and you can actually go through them for the 4 p.m. slate and look at what kind of swaps. Whereas I know, like, you can listen to Levitan talk on his review pod. He has so much action in play. Yeah. He can only look at his high stakes ones because his time just can't be spent going through every $5 head-to-head to look at optimal swaps.
Yeah, that's totally true. You could probably set it up like a player, especially if he's one of your 1v1s or 2v2s, as a late swap option. And then you just know you're going to swap from this guy to this guy. He's the same price. He's just, a third of the owned. And just do it across the board.
Global swap. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I would do, something like that.
Yeah. And I mean, Levitan ends up saying on his podcast, he doesn't end up doing a ton of swapping because he goes looking through these lineups and he's just seeing these really weird lineups that aren't even that duplicated with him. And he's like, I'm just going to let this ride because this is clearly a different construction.
He probably gets a lot of Levitan action just for who he is.
He even admitted on his show this week, he was like, I would probably be a full-time GPP bro now if I didn't get all of this soft cash game action.
Yeah, speaking of collusion, if Ben the Better starts putting down like 50K in cash, he might have a backer, someone who's like, no, let's take all this free action from everyone in DFS is sending them head-to-heads. Where was his DFS coaches for the GPPs? Is he going to get a cash game coach? That was going to be, I only did one tweet on that I was, my original one was going to be, says the guy who wants to collude with Bryce.
That would have been a good tweet.
I know.
Collusion preparing your GPP lineups, okay. Collusion on cash game lineups, no good.
What the fuck you are openly trying to collude with Bryce for the past 4 fucking months.
Oh my goodness. Collusion in cash games is the worst, says Eric. Is this Ben the Better's?
No, he's been around.
The 3-mans, yeah. Ben the Better was on the Crypto Ranger whitelist.
Yeah, I don't one of them fucking Rangers.
Yeah. Do you have any traits picked out?
No. If it's still minting, I hate that MetaMask shit. I might just go buy one.
What do you mean you hate the MetaMask shit? Do you have to use a MetaMask to buy one on the?
I know it always breaks.
It breaks on you?
Yeah, I don't know. Never gets on there. The MetaMask buying's easier than switching the wrapped ETH for me. Like that breaks
Oh,
all
yeah.
of them. Maybe I should update it. Maybe they fixed that bug.
Yeah, you shouldn't really ever have to deal with wrapped ETH unless you're sending offers.
Offers, yeah.
Yeah. Are you sending
Yeah.
offers for Crypto Rangers?
I might. The I told you I wanted that brick 75 NFT just bricks.
Oh yeah. What was that at? What was that priced at?
And when I first tried to do it, was priced. It wasn't priced, but they were cheap. And then like I said, I think he figured out I was trying to bid it, and he listed it 2080 when it was worth probably like 0.5.
Let's check in on the Crypto Rangers right now. Crypto Rangers floor of 0.087, 5.3 volume traded. So it's a ways away from catching the Man's Coin NFTs that only had 200 and has 18.7 volume traded.
I mean, your constant FUD on the project is not helping. Okay.
Go. I mean, the reveal on these is going to be epic, Brian.
It's not on rarity yet.
It probably won't end up on rarity. Oh my goodness. I actually, Brian, the best bit you could do would be to buy a Crypto Ranger and change your profile picture to it.
I've thought about it. I don't know if I'm going to change my profile pic though. For the bit maybe.
All right, if we get you a galactic ape though, you got to change her. Maybe in the Discord. Change it in the Discord.
Oh yeah, I guess. Although that is supposedly my brand.
Your brand.
What's going on?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go.
I was gonna say what's going on in the Brian Hooper Discord these days?
Not much. Same old. I posted ownership for PGA tomorrow, and I got some prop bets up for tomorrow for football. If you want to degen in.
Nice. Can you leak one on here?
Sure.
I need a bet. Give me a prop bet.
Well, I'm gonna have to.
What do we have? We have Seattle and Los Angeles tomorrow. That's a fun game.
Okay. Who we what book? Oh, you can only do Bovada, right?
Yeah.
I got Bovada. I only have two good bets for Bovada though.
That's fine.
I got Wilson passing yards over and or his touchdowns under.
Okay. So how do you think about that? Because I see that sometimes too, where I'm like, the bets don't seem correlated.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's played out in the sim, so it should work out. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, why would the over yards match up? But I mean, let's look here. It's 275.5 over under on Bovada. At least when I ran these, what's it at now?
I just checked. It's 275.5, and the juice hasn't moved. Minus 115 both directions.
Yep, that's where I was at before. So it's only 0.17 value. So like it's, I don't know, I might probably have it at like 280 or 288 or something.
What did you say? You like the over on the passing yards?
Over on the passing yards, under on the touchdowns. I mean, you could also too. Here's another thing too, especially in basketball props, is like just don't pick anti-correlated prop bets.
And does you said under on 1.5 TD passes?
Yeah.
So
1.5, 120 on the under, plus 120.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that if it was even money on both sides, would that register for you, or is it because the 1.5 over has gotten steamed all the way up to 160 that it's presenting value on the 120?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what it does. Is it counts the iterations and then adjusts based on the juice.
All right, I'm tailing you, and I will unsubscribe if either of these fail.
The show's over. So like in basketball, like an example would be like, I don't know, let's go Anthony Davis, LeBron, teammates, right? So like, yeah, there could be value on both of those overs, but like you don't have to bet on both because it's going to be a little harder if LeBron goes off for AD to also cover.
Yeah.
So like, you keep that in mind, just the correlations on what you want to be betting, but they can still both be profitable bets.
All right, this is a fun idea from Willis here. I'm going to pull this up. So we had
Did
Passing
Justin hire Willis now too? He's got
Justin hired Willis. Let's see the over on. Let me just pull this up and then we can see. We had passing touchdowns 1.5. The over was -160. And the under was +120.
yeah. 1.5 was the line.
All right. We like the under. We line up with Brian there. Under 1.5. Implied odds 45.5%. Actual odds 47.9%. Good bet according to the Kelly criterion there. And then let's see, passing yards. It was
275.5 and 115 on both sides.
15 on both sides. And it likes this as well. So Brian, the Sims are the handshake emoji on this one. Like the over there, 58.6% bet grade. Good bet. Nice 11.1 in the Kelly criterion. Nice to see the Sims got together and colluded on these props.
There you go.
Who does Brick collude with to get these prop picks? He colludes with Run the Sims, apparently. So there you go.
I collude with R.
I don't see you as a Bill Burr guy.
No, I like Bill Burr.
You like Bill Burr? Okay.
Right. My favorite comedian, I guess, like if I didn't have to pick like one of the obvious greats or whatever, would probably be Greg Giraldo.
Really?
Okay. He died a while ago. I thought he was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like Carlin and a ton, and Norm dying, that totally sucked. I thought Norm was fantastic.
Norm was, because like I think Bill Burr is talented and I laugh at his stuff, but I'm not like the kind of like aggro comedy stuff. Someone mentioned Dave Attell. Like I think those guys are talented, but that's just not my style. I do like the Norm is perfectly my speed, where it's a little bit more self-effacing. I don't know. It's losing Norm just sucks. I thought he was one of just the naturally funniest people ever.
Me and my brother used to tell that I got my family in a duffel bag here bit in high school, like all the time. Do you Louis C.K.?
Yeah,
was great. I loved Chris Rock with those first two HBO specials. Those were so good. And like even Murphy, Eddie Murphy's Delirious and Raw, especially Delirious, those were classics. I haven't watched them in a while though. I wonder if they hold up. I watched Colin Quinn's his latest, or maybe it was a couple years ago, the thing about secession, actually, which is pretty popular now. Have you seen that one?
Is that on Netflix or?
Yeah, it's like Red, White, and Blue or 50 States or something. I can't remember. Yeah,
it's good.
Oh, it's interesting. How Carlin, like one of my brothers says, he's like Carlin's not funny. He's just like
he tells the truth.
He tells the truth and it's funny or something. Yeah, he's like and it's like yeah, I guess, but he's also pretty fucking funny. Like.
Yeah, well, there's kind of like high effort comedy versus, I think that's why I gravitate to someone like Norm, who's effortlessly funny. Like, I feel like I could go out to lunch with Carlin and maybe not laugh at all because he's such a good writer and performer. Like, that's where he's doing the heavy lifting, where I feel like if I went and hung out with Norm Macdonald, I'd probably be laughing my ass off for most of the time. Just like, let's think about like Norm Macdonald interacting with a waiter versus like Carlin interacting with a waiter, right? Like there's something about Norm Macdonald that is just inherently funny.
I think both those guys would be fine. I think they like, even Carlin, I think crave people to love them and want to be funny. Where like, who's the guy who ended up killing himself? Rogan always talks about how good
Mitch
of a comic he was. No, he OD'd or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hedberg and who's the Boston one-liner guy? White. Right.
Yeah.
Those two go together. I can't remember the guy's name. Who's like an 80s comic who wanted to be a star. Anyways, I could see some comics like they just don't want to be around anybody.
No.
But some of them I think are just crazy. If you're just around them, they can't help it. Hey, how about sketch guys? I was thinking of you the other day. Have you seen any Kyle Dunnigan's or Shane Gillis's sketches on YouTube?
The name Dunnigan sounds familiar to me. Is he also a stand-up?
Not really.
Okay.
I think he does do some stand-up, but He's mainly sketch. He might have done Upright Citizens Brigade. He might have.
That name
But
sounds very familiar. I'm gonna Google it while you talk.
his bit now is he does face swap
Oh
videos,
yeah, I've
right?
seen
And he
this. Yeah,
does,
yeah, yeah.
and now he's doing like full shows, like 8-minute shows. They're pretty fucking funny.
As a full face swap, the whole show.
Yeah, yeah, and he does, like 8 or 10 different impressions, and some of them are pretty fucking good. And I just stumbled across Shane Gillis, the guy who got booted off of SNL before he started for
Yeah,
right
Philly guy, right? Yeah,
yeah, Philly guy, and he's got like some of those sketches get like 500,000 views and stuff. I'm like, fuck, this guy's blowing up, and some of them are pretty fucking funny.
yeah, yeah. The
Richard Jenny, that's right, Richard Jenny, that's who I was thinking of. Like, I bet Richard Jenny probably wasn't fun to be around. And a lot of these guys were like Geraldo had a huge drug problem.
yeah.
So like the first half of the night it'd probably be awesome, and then when he's trying to score a Coke for the 15th time, you're probably like, I gotta go, like.
Yeah. A lot of those comics. I mean, just the kind of, I think it like self-selects for what type. So to become a really good stand-up comic, you need to put up just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours at open mics, getting on stage, going around town. It's a very solitary activity. It's competitive. It's cutthroat. You're often sitting at the back of bars waiting to get on stage, scribbling in your notebook. There's resentment and jealousy over, other people who are successful or getting more laughs. Like, I do think there's like an evolutionary thing for like to become the best. There also has to be a lot of like hardness and anger and sadness. And obviously that's a generalization and a stereotype. And there's many well-adjusted, successful comedians, but on the most part, that like open mic grind, I mean, and that's why I like when I first started doing improv comedy, I had done stand up for like a summer, and just going to those open mics, it was so depressing to me. And then I was like, at least when I do improv, we're on a team, we're bombing together, we're succeeding together. There was this communal, uplifting nature to it, where the stand up stuff, I think, would have really gotten to my head.
I totally agree. Yeah. I could see that being like a nice little fallback too. Yeah. The teamwork of, because we have Second City here, so I've been there a bunch of times, and it actually it wasn't they didn't do that bad. So the few times I've been there, but I could see if they did tank that you could just laugh it off with the person you're on stage with.
Yeah. PayPal money. Where can I find your comedy work? You would have needed to be at a black box theater in Cambridge, Massachusetts, basically any night of the week from like 2000 to 2015.
Release the bootlegs. Release the bootlegs.
There's a video of Mans doing stand-up on my YouTube channel. That was part of the reason I started doing content too, because improv was super fun, but it's so ephemeral. You have nothing to show for it. There's even the recordings of improv, like it just doesn't fucking translate. It's saying like, honestly, stand-up comedy doesn't really translate for me either. Like, I'll watch some specials. I was watching Norm's specials after he passed away, and I was really enjoying it. But for the most part, like, there's something magical about being in a black box and just experiencing live comedy that just does not translate on Netflix for me.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I do love though. I just love how these guys can make livings now, and like they all they need is their phone, a fucking face swap app. You can make a good living. Bill Hicks, that's another one.
Yeah.
Patrice O'Neill, yeah. A lot of those Opie and Anthony guys were pretty good. And Norton, I like Norton. Like he seems cool or whatever, but like, I guess I haven't seen enough of his stand up, but I don't put him up there with those other guys. No offense to him, because I'm sure he's watching and he cares.
Oh man, this is a quintessential Lowe's show. I just randomly put DFS cash game collusion as a clickbait title and tweet. We talk about NFTs for 40 minutes, and then we talk about comedy for the last 15 minutes. That's exactly how a Lowe's episode works.
Yeah, we talked too much about DFS for like 3 shows in a row. That was way too fucking much.
Yeah, maybe I have a guest booked for Friday, but I'll circle back with you. Maybe you can come do my Friday GPP show a week from Friday if you're around.
Yeah. Yes. In the mornings?
Yeah, I think it'll be like noon Eastern my time. So what is that? 10 or 11 you?
Yeah, 11. That should work.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Oh yeah, Travis. When are you gonna get Big T on again? I always see him asking. We'll get Big T on again.
Yeah, we were trying to we were thinking about getting a bunch of guys on at the same time.
Saturday hang.
A Saturday hang, maybe watch some MMA.
Yeah, we can do that.
Unless the T really wants in, he's got something to tell the world.
How about Big T and Travis Petty MMA panel?
Yeah, we probably should have someone who actually knows Ben the Better.
We've asked Ben the Better.
We try to get him on.
He won't come on.
Yeah, I talked to him over Discord, like voice to voice, not just through text.
I remember that when you guys were hammering out the terms of your deal.
Yeah, and then he like immediately went to Twitter and sold me fucking out down the river. Like, Brick doesn't want to do the bet.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
He sounded like I don't know, 20. Oh, I think he already said he's 25. Something like that.
This lion here wants to know when you're going to record more DFS strategy videos. Brian would prefer that you watch lulls every single week and just try to pick up just a little speck of information.
I don't really have a good idea to do anything that would be worthwhile right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's also, I will admit too, as someone who now just almost exclusively live streams, I have a video that I want to make, a comedic video for Twitter, and I've been sitting on the script and I need to record it. Like, it is very hard once you get into the rhythm of just doing live streams to be like, all right, I'm going to do a script. I'm going to get my outline. I'm going to record it. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to upload it. I mean, it is a massive chore relative to live streaming.
Yeah. I just do one take and then,
yeah. No, I mean,
whatever. I said the wrong word.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
I don't know how to edit. I deleted Photoshop off my fucking computer. I'm like, fuck, I'm never going to figure this out.
Well, you'd have a hard time editing video with Photoshop, right?
MS Paint for me. Well, the whole suite. I had the whole suite. Like the whole Adobe suite.
There you go. You need to just get, wherever you hire your app builders and sim builders, you can edit your videos.
One more person I have to micromanage.
All right, guys. Thank you, as always, for tuning in on Wednesday nights to lulls. You can head into Brian's Discord where you can find more of those sweet, sweet prop bet plays. Thank you, of course, to Run the Sims for being our sponsor. It is free week at Run the Sims. So if you liked what you saw this week, you can sign up for a free account. I believe that ends tomorrow. So get it in now. You can mess around with the simulator for the showdown slate. Sims, the entire slate. You can mess with the inputs. It shows you the product owned, cumulative owned for the lineups that are generated and most frequent in the Sims. Very helpful for both hand builders and opto bros alike. I mentioned hoodies. It is hoodie season. You can get a lulls hoodie down below. You can even pay in Ethereum for it if you would like. Brian, anything else you'd like to plug here?
No, pod should be up shortly.
Pods will be up shortly.
Subscribe. We had like over 1,000 downloads on the pod last week.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Lulls is growing slowly but surely. Brian and I have not reinvested anything into marketing. We are just letting this bad boy grow organically.
I posted on your stream the other day. Does that count?
You did. Yeah. That was the Big Dick Brick and Big Meat Pete. There you go. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Why won't it let me play the outro, Brian? It's just muting you. Let me try this. When I go to press the button, StreamYard's so busted right now.
You know why? I bet it's that. I'll just end the stream over here and you end the stream over there. How about that? Maybe.
All right. There's no outro music today.